Hello and welcome to Nothing to Wear, the podcast that solves fashion problems and levels up your wardrobe. It's that time of year again, Copenhagen Fashion Week. I know you all think we're obsessed here at Mamma Mia, and that's because we are. The street style looks as well as the runway looks at Copenhagen are refreshing and different and really inspiring, and a great way to go through your own wardrobe and try something different. So joining me again today is Lucinda Pikkat. She was on the show a little while ago and you guys loved her insider tips and insights. So she's going to help me dissect what we saw last week at Copenhagen Fashion Week, both on the runway, but mostly what the people were wearing on the streets and how we can translate it to our own wardrobes. Let's do it.
You have to do it. You live for fashion.
Lucinda, welcome back. You were last on and we talked about what makes a brand cool, and that was so phenomenal. So I'm excited to talk to you about Copenhagen. I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah,
Fashion Week.
We're having a debate here. I'm going to stick to Copenhagen, I think.
Copenhagen. That's the Australian twang of it. I think that's right.
Let's blame it on the Aussie twang.
Let's do that. But before we get into it, I ask returning guests two questions. Do you have a style muse? And if so, who and why?
My style muse would probably be my day-to-day style resonates most with, or I try and make it resonate with, Princess Diana. I'm obsessed with her style because I do lean more towards like that sporty aesthetic. I naturally gravitate to the looks that we've seen her wear with the bike shorts and the big jersey, and that just suits my lifestyle with dropping the kids at school and going to the gym. So I do try and emulate Princess Di.
Yeah.
Looking at spring and the trends that are coming up, I do love Sienna Miller, and that like boho vibe is sort of what I'm getting into now.
Okay, that's good. The Princess Di thing, as soon as you said it, I was like, yes, you nailed that.
Oh,
like,
I love
every
hearing that.
time I look at you on Instagram and you're wearing cool, like sporty luxe vibes, I'm like, I just could not do that. But I love that you pull that off. Now, second question is, tell me about a memorable purchase. It might be a big impulse purchase, it might that you could regret or that you are glad you made, or something that you saved up for, but a really memorable purchase or item that comes to mind.
You know, I don't really buy luxury designer handbags anymore. I've sort of stopped all of that. And if I'm going to invest in a piece, it'll be a piece of jewelry. And I'm not talking your Cartier bracelet or your Tiffany's. I'd go and get a bespoke piece made. Recently, I got one made with my daughter's birthstone.
Oh,
so that on a necklace in some gold. So something like that it's personal. It means something. It's custom. Yeah.
It's not going to be ripped off all over Temu in 5 minutes.
And you're not paying a huge markup for these luxury brands.
It's so true. Yeah. And I think, custom jewelry can be really expensive, but there's some affordable ways to do it. When I say affordable, it's still a forever piece, but you're right. You're not paying 12 grand for a bangle that everyone's got or everyone's got the copy.
It's so true. Like, you dictate the price, whatever your budget is, you give to them, and then they can go away and make something.
Yeah. All right. We're here to talk about Copenhagen. Their fashion week just happened last week. And I want you to tell us first, why is Copenhagen Fashion Week relatively suddenly on the radar when it used to kind of be your New Yorks, your London, Milan, Paris? Are they the main ones?
That's right, Leigh. Like, it's strange that such a little old Copenhagen has suddenly been up there with the big four.
Yeah.
So you've got the big four, but there's actually 18 other fashion weeks going around the world that people don't really know about. We've obviously got our Australian Fashion Week. There's New Zealand Fashion Week in a couple of weeks. There's Oslo. There's all these ones happening. And suddenly,
I see some a bit about Dubai every now and then, but maybe that's because I was researching a holiday.
Yeah.
It's the algorithm.
But it's funny that Copenhagen has really shot up and is one to watch, and it's got eyeballs on it.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm obsessed with Copenhagen. Every year I get excited for spring, summer in particular. And I think it's two things it comes down to that make it so special and interesting.
Yes.
One is they've got this huge sustainability element. So the CEO, Cecilia Rossmark, she's been in the role for maybe 6 years. But
CEO of the Fashion Week.
CEO of Copenhagen Fashion Week.
I don't think people really realise that these things are a business in and of themselves all year round.
That's right, yeah. I think Copenhagen started in 2006, which is relatively new as well.
Yeah, that is quite new.
So a lot of the other big ones, Milan, Paris, whatnot, they sort of started in the 80s, 90s. So it's a fresh Copenhagen Fashion Week. Anyway, Cecilia's been working on sustainability and how brands are required to bring X amount of well, they need to be sustainable in order to show at Fashion Week. And this isn't
Wow.
just like, oh, let's hope you can do it and tick a box. You
Yeah.
have to hit a minimum of 18 requirements in order to show.
No way.
So,
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's things like it's the whole production line. So whether it be the materials they're using, 60% need to be of sustainable or recycled, working conditions, and then also the show within itself. So no paper invitations. How are you getting your garments to and from the show? There can't be any plastic. There's zero
Wow.
waste at shows. So knowing this and having this knowledge is quite interesting now watching the shows.
Yes.
So,
I
and
had no idea.
yeah, and it's a really high bar, but Cecilia says it's not meant to be high that no one reaches it. That change with sustainability comes from the top. It's her responsibility
This is
to
so
bring
true.
these brands up and then they can move forward together.
Yeah, and it's not like you say just about slapping a label on it. You know, I think there was a fast fashion brand recently that was somehow B Corp certified.
Princess Polly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know, not everyone can afford really high end things, but also there can be affordability that's not at the cost of the environment so much. And maybe we don't need super fast fashion where things are $6 and then therefore people are buying 8,000 of them. So I think she's right. Leading by example should hopefully set a standard, because we see at these fashion weeks, trends trickle down to the high street.
Yeah.
If these standards for the environment and sustainability start up here, hopefully that will also trickle down throughout the whole fashion industry.
It's so true. So she's got a lot of eyeballs on her.
amazing.
And brands also get brownie points or bonus points for doing things like what's their cast diversity and sizing diversity, adaptive clothing. So what are they doing for disabilities, materials used, how are they using, I know one brand's using seaweed and turning it into a fiber. So hopefully
Wow.
other fashion weeks can look at this.
Scandi
and-
just always are miles ahead in everything. Like
Yeah.
that whole area just blows my mind and I
Right?
want to move there.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's one element of it. But then also what makes Copenhagen Fashion Week so exciting and electric to watch is obviously the street style.
That's it. That's it for me. And it's funny because when I said, you know, let's get you on to talk about Copenhagen Fashion Week, I really meant street style. I mean, I do like watching the runways and the designers and the shows, but it's what the people are wearing outside that is like a candy store for the eyes.
It is.
And it feels so different to all the other ones. Why do you think we love looking at what people going to the shows are wearing?
It's such an interesting point because who's going to Copenhagen? It's actually 50% influencers compared to media industry buyers, whereas usually it's around like 75% the industry.
Right.
So I think with so many more influencers going who are there with the intention of getting photographed, it's really interesting looks that are getting created that we're now interested in.
Yeah. And I guess they're going, and this is no shade at influencers, and you and I both do content creation, but they're going as that job. Whereas I think, you know, I've attended a bunch of overseas fashion weeks in Sydney for many years. But I'm going less about what I'm wearing and more functional to then run back and write an article, you know, whether it's in the media pit or I'm there to produce content for back when I was at Cosmo and now I'm at Mamma Mia, but they're there as them and they are their content and they are their channels. So I think the expression there is, I feel like it's the most varied street style that I see.
I think the French Parisians have that, how do you say, the je ne sais quoi.
Yes.
Like the Danish girls have that it factor.
Yeah.
But
it still feels effortless, but it's more fun, you know?
Joyful. I think Scandinavian or Danish Copenhagen street style, whatever you want to call it, I think a really good way to sort of wrap your head around it is looking at the Copenhagen Cs, which I was trying to tell you earlier. But the Copenhagen Cs, so it starts with that Scandinavian sleek, cool level. So it's clean, crisp, chic. It's neutral tones, it's base layers, just keeping it very
like the silhouettes are quite simple or structured, like not fussy, right? Not a lot of different clashing things.
Yeah.
You look at it and you absorb it all in one go.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
that makes sense.
And that's sort of what millennials know, I think. That's Scandi cool. And that's even in interiors. Remember that whole white walls, grey, everything's Scandi cool?
You're so right, because it was all a bit minimal and very chic and doesn't have to be expensive, but it was clean. And that's what I would think of as Scandi style, both in fashion and in, like you say, homewares. But that's definitely still around.
It's still around, and we definitely see that at Fashion Week, but there is this other side where it's almost like bulking and adding in different items that create this maximalism or even quiet maximalism, which is almost like a a gateway into or experimenting with the maximalism trend.
Yeah. And maximalism, I mean, I love that term, but sometimes for me, it looks, look, eclectic is definitely another word that comes to mind, but sometimes it's just like a big old mishmash of lots of things put on somebody that I always think looks very cool. Would I wear it? No. Would I even know where to start to layer all those kind of unusual pairings?
Yeah.
Not that I don't understand it, but it's so different from the Scandi we first described, which was kind of clean silhouettes, really well-made, structured or simple. Why do you think it's gone so the other way, but both still coexist?
I think it's more of a cultural shift in people wanting to explore their unique individual styles, so adding elements. Maximalism's always been a style trend within itself, and like you said, it is this mix match chaotic harmony, really.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
so-
Because they somehow get it right most of
They
the
do,
time.
and it kind of works. There's something about Copenhagen where I find it doesn't feel as pretentious.
Yes.
And this is me. I've only been to Australian Fashion Week, and this is me just on the sidelines in Australia. But it doesn't feel as pretentious. I watch every single fashion week, and I almost study it like it's a university degree. I feel it's not as pretentious, and I think that's because people there are taking risks with their fashion. And if you're in a room with other people taking risks, you're not going to sort of judge them or pass judgment.
And you feel more confident to wear something that's not, completely on trend or head to toe, whatever.
I think they're just leaning into this is who we are. We've sort of got a name for this maximalism style. Let's do it, and let's do it well. So
and
now
enough people do it and are different that it's not like, whoa, what's that person wearing?
Yeah.
Whereas I think sometimes in Australia, I mean, I think the last fashion week that was in May, I did see a lot more eclectic looks outside for Sydney street style than I guess I have in previous years, but still there's a whoa factor. Like I think, you're looking and it's a bit of eye candy, but it's also a lot to take in because we don't see that much variety or that much individuality here.
Yeah.
Whereas there it feels like they're at ease with it because individuality is the signature or is the aim.
Yep, 100%.
What's the other C's? Did we miss a C?
So it was the 3 C's that make it that Scandi cool, but then it goes into like cool girl, color, kitsch, even though that's K, but clash, and clever. So it's just always remembering the opposites and sort of the different ends of the spectrum with Copenhagen style, and that they can blend. There is a spectrum. It's either super clean, ultra maximalism, and then there's that like in between that we see on the streets.
I'm going to aim for the in between. I definitely can't be the maximalist, and I guess I am generally the clean, but that's probably because I'm just a bit boring and basic and in a rush.
It's quite difficult to like, if you're so used to it, I think a lot of us are, us as millennials, used to like capsule wardrobe, 10 pieces, you need jeans,
your
a white
trench,
shirt.
your white shirt, exactly.
We're
And
all
now I'm
looking the
like,
same.
wait, I do have a sparkly dress, but will I wear it over jeans? That's outrageous.
Yeah.
We are going to dissect some photos in a minute. We've picked some looks from street style that we'll dissect, but do you want to just give us an overall vibe of this street style that we've seen last week, or some takeaway trends that you just kept in your mind that have a name or that you can describe?
Some key from the street style, there's, like we've been discussing, but layering different materials and the fabrications and different styles. So it's like
I can't say that word either. It's hard
masculine.
to say. There we go.
Masculine oversized blazer with the lace skirt underneath, layering on top of layering. When you think you've done, do 2 more. Like there is a lot of layering. Accessories have been a huge standout on the runways, but also with the street style.
Yeah.
And it sort of moves into these really eclectic. So if, like you were saying, Leigh, if you sort of want to maybe try maximalism, but it's a bit scary, you can start with a bit more of a clean palette with your wardrobe, but have an outrageous accessory.
Yeah,
and that's
but maybe just one to start with for people
one.
like maybe me, because I having a look at some of the street style, it is 3 huge necklaces, earrings, a hat, a dog bag, bag charms. It's a lot, but for somehow it works for them. I don't even own all those things. But I think just having one statement accessory that's not your black bag, or putting 2 together you wouldn't normally do. Maybe start that way.
And it is probably worth noting that it is slightly performative. Like we see that at Australian Fashion Week, and here it's the outrageous wardrobes that get photographed and that get spoken about. Yeah. So, I guess I wonder the intention isn't there to wear that on the streets day to day.
Yes.
Probably not. But yeah, we can get our own inspiration from it.
Yeah. It's like that Coco Chanel quote, like when you like look in the mirror and then take one thing off. So
Yeah.
I think it was her, but I think they're like look in the mirror and then add 3 more things and then go, which I just think is fabulous.
Yeah.
But it's also about, I think, giving yourself permission as a regular person to wear what you want to wear and not worrying if things like match or go, you know,
Yeah.
or, you know, if it's technically a pulled together outfit because somehow it just works.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say the layering, accessories, different fabrics. So lots of polka dots, and I'm talking lots. Even on the runway, there is so much. Like you think a trend's gone.
No,
but
I've just started, like, because obviously spring summer's dropping here. And actually, I want you to join me for a spring summer trend episode in a few weeks, please, because I've started to see polka dots everywhere here. So it's obviously started overseas and still going.
Yeah, it's one of those things like we'd always say, if it sticks and sells, it stays.
Yeah, right.
So if they're selling, they're going to keep making them.
it.
Yeah.
I literally just did a wardrobe clean out and I'm so glad because I've got a really cute polka dot dress, but I was like, so it's in the maybe pile. It hasn't gone yet.
Yeah.
And now
good.
after seeing all these pics, I'm like, hang on, I'm going to get her out and wear her with jeans and a dog bag or something. I don't know. So polka dots.
Yeah, it's actually funny you mentioned the dog bag because there
was a lot of weird bags.
Yeah, well, on day 2, it was one of the new talent shows and her name was Kettle Atelier. So she had these rat bags. So it was just denim dresses, really like minimal style was going down the runway. Some quite big silhouettes, but then all holding these huge metallic rat bags.
Like leather?
Yeah,
Something
like
fabric,
a metallic,
not a real rat.
No, just like, it's like pretend ones. But
I
it
mean,
was
there's been real
outrageous.
rats at Fashion Week before, so I did have to ask.
And I don't think that's like I don't think we're all going to be walking down the streets with rat bags, but it was more maybe just it signifies the sculptural accessories that
And
we're
the
going to be seeing.
quirkiness, yeah. I mean, I just started following an Instagram account and they have this really cool, it's like metal but quite large fish clutch and it like looks like a fish and you open it up and I was like, I love that.
Me too.
And it's so weird and I would never purchase it because of cost per wear, but we're getting some personality back.
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so polka dots, tartan.
Lots of checks.
Lots of checks. And headpieces. So again, this sounds headscarves, but hats as well. And
like
handmade
doilies. Like I've seen like
everywhere.
Beanie, like hand crochet. There was a lot of, when I say grandma vibes, but it feels like that kind of old school handmade, knitted. There was a lot of that.
So Kettle Atelier, it was all like dresses made out of essentially doilies. It was these beautiful summer dresses that looked, made out of doilies, but it was gorgeous.
Cool.
It was really elegant.
Yeah.
And it almost combined like vintage and sex appeal.
Yeah. I love it. And like you say, that's that clash of like that masculine and feminine or pretty. We're going to put a carousel up on Instagram so you can have a play at home and look at the images we're talking about. We've picked out some street style looks and let's dissect them. What the trends are, what we think of them, would we wear them? So tartan was huge.
Yeah.
And lots of tartan.
Lots of tartan in different styles as well. So the picture we're looking at, she's wearing a skirt, like a mini skirt, which has this massive bow dropping down right to the ankle.
Yeah.
I should do a side note. Bows were everywhere as well.
Yes.
Caro Edition, she showed on the first day. It's actually a husband and wife duo. Bows on the bags.
I
on
love
the
a
dresses.
bow.
They were gorgeous. So we're seeing here a tartan miniskirt with this huge bow on the front.
Which kind of does speak to what you were saying before about like the masculine and feminine. Like tartan is quite, it's not a particular, I guess it depends on the item, but the bow is quite feminine, but tartan can be not particularly masculine, but it's a bit of a juxtaposition.
For sure. Yeah.
And that top is like kind of one of those sheer mesh. She's wearing like a sheer mesh long sleeve top that we've seen everywhere this autumn, winter here.
Yeah.
With, a little bralette underneath. So that's really easy that lots of people might have that at home and then can mix and match it with something that they wouldn't have worn it with this past season.
That's actually such a good point, Leigh. Like, I love this street style for Copenhagen because you can do it with whatever you've got in your wardrobe.
Yeah. Go and just have a play and go, I would never wear those things together and put it on and see what happens.
And even saying, I haven't worn that in 12 months, so I'm going to pull this and do it with that.
Yeah.
So
I think also because I fall into the trap of I wear that top with those pants and, maybe those 3 bottoms, but I rarely have the time to get creative in my mind and go, actually, I should try that with that I haven't really thought of.
Yeah.
But it feels like these people are innate at just pairing things that are unexpected.
Yeah. And
she's also wearing fluffy.
And
it looks like Ugg boots from here.
Yeah, like crazy shoes, which
Yeah.
like goes to show like just different accessories, like having fun with accessories and letting them do the loud talking.
Yeah.
So
Totally. Whereas if she'd worn like I can't tell if that's black or navy check, but if she'd worn a pump, that would have been a lot more stylish and chic, but a lot less expressive in Copenhagen, if that makes
Totally.
sense.
Thing as well with Copenhagen, everyone's in flats and sneakers.
Yes.
And
Preach, says me in heels, but like,
and maybe the odd kitten heel.
yeah.
But I think it was Leandra Medine who created Man Repeller.
Yeah.
She said the Danish girls essentially made sneakers with style and fashion cool. And when you think about it, back in the day, we'd wear our Asics to work on the train, hop
Yeah, and
off the
get
train
changed.
and put your heels on.
Is it because they ride bikes everywhere? You can't
It
really ride
is.
bikes in a stiletto.
You can't. And
No.
you're dismounting that thing every day and all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 75% of Copenhagen's citizens commute via bike. Can you
Right.
imagine if we did that?
No. I mean, I would not be here.
They're so-
I'd be a squash mug on the road. But I
they're
love
so
that because
active.
it's practical
Yeah.
and it's still cool. Because for me, I'm like, I'm doing something practical today. I can't wear fun clothes. I
Yeah.
have these versions of myself, but they're all mushed into one.
Yeah.
Let's look at the next one. Okay, this to me speaks Copenhagen. This woman is wearing a long sleeve. It looks like a silk satin long sleeve top, jeans, or are they Adidas pants? I can't. That's not a stripe, is it? It's sun.
Yeah, we both don't have our glasses.
No,
on.
I know. But it looks like jeans, flip flops,
Yeah.
a headscarf, and then a big bag. So did I say the sequin dress over the top? This is what I think of when I think of or a version of this, but I also just, not that I don't love her look, that's something I would never try, but I have all of those elements separately in my wardrobe. What do you think of that?
I look at this and love it in context.
Yes, in context is
So,
such an important point.
Would I wear that down the street of George Street? Oh, I don't know.
Or in the country where you're from, that would get some
down
looks.
Barrel High Street. But it's one of those examples where she's probably got the shirt and jeans and shoes off. Let's go out the door. Hang on a minute. Let's add 3 more pieces.
Yeah.
Which is that Copenhagen style. But it works here. She's at Fashion Week. She looks great.
She looks confident.
She
I
looks
feel like
confident.
last year's Fashion Week, there was a lot of that kind of sequin shift dress with layering. Like I think if you've got those, and again, this autumn winter we just had, there was a lot of sparkly skirts and a lot of sparkly dresses. So you can absolutely still carry them over to this new season.
Yeah.
It might just be, just wear them if you love them. But
It's
otherwise
so
it might
true.
be mixing and matching. See, that's quite a casual bag and a flat shoe, but it could be an evening dress.
And you can dissect bits from this. So headscarves, we're seeing a lot of the headscarves. That handmaid's tale vibe of wearing it like this. Just wait, spring, summer, this is going to be everywhere. That mustard colour as well. Day 3 of Copenhagen Fashion Week, 2 best friends created this brand called Alice. And they're actually from Christiania. You know the free town in Copenhagen? It's lawless. There's no laws.
What?
They've got their own electricity, schooling.
Let's go.
It's
I don't know what I want to do there.
I
That's
went with
against
my
the law
brother there.
here.
It felt really scary, but it's
Oh.
quite civilized. Like they've got their own primary schools going, and it's just this
Wow.
way of living. But yeah, the brand's called Alice, and it's 2 best friends from this Christiania. They've created. They showed
Sounds like
day
a
3,
Disney fantasy land, but maybe we don't want to go.
and their color on the runway this year was that beautiful mustard color.
I love that color.
It was all
It feels like a cooler tan than to me. Like I do like a tan accessory in a tan, but mustard just feels like a bit edgier.
Yeah.
But it's still sort of a neutral.
I 100% agree.
Oh, is
And
it? We
goes
calling it a
with-
neutral?
It plays. It's a safe exit out of neutral dressing, isn't it?
For me, it's a bright color, but it's safe. I
Yeah.
feel like everyone has versions of this in their wardrobe that they just need to go and play dress up. Like
Yep.
literally pretend you're 3 or 7 and go and play.
And I dare you to. We encourage you to actually try one day.
We probably should
We
have
should
to
do it
what we
ourselves.
say. What have we got next? Okay, this is an image of 3 lovely ladies. They look like they're having the best time. Do you think they're related? I don't know.
No.
There's a
maybe.
lot to dissect here. So make sure you check out the image on Instagram or it's on your
Yeah.
screen on YouTube. The lady on the left, so we'll start with, she's wearing a black maxi skirt, I think, or dress.
Mhm.
It almost looks like a blue Oxford shirt underneath,
Yeah.
which we all have. Then a tweed jacket. Then the neck scarf that we're seeing worn as belts, headscarves.
Yeah.
What kind of shoe would that? That's like a hybrid. It's like a lace-up
Yeah.
ballet flat.
Like the Mary Jane type.
Yeah. And then I
lace up.
love the woven printed bag that she's kind of carrying, like a basket bag that's almost like, I guess, beach style, but it doesn't look like a beach bag there.
Yep.
That's a lot. I feel like that stuff we all have versions of in our wardrobe.
Because it's all relatively neutral colours. It's not too
Yes.
much. It
Yeah.
feels practical. She looks great. Like, I think
I think she
yeah.
looks great. It's not something I would ever wear and more to the point ever think of doing, which again inspires me to try different combinations. And nothing there screams one individual trend that people might not already have. They're all kind of classics, but just put
that's
together in
so
a weird
true.
way or a
Classics.
different way.
Yeah, classic with a twist.
And then what have we got in the middle? Is that a pedal pusher?
They are the capris, and we did see them with Opera Sport. They opened up Copenhagen Fashion Week, day one. They were having black capris everywhere, which I personally love. Are you not a fan?
I like looking at them. It's not my body type. And I did it the first time for me many years ago in my early 20s. I like looking at them, but it's not something I would seek out to purchase.
Yeah.
I like a Bermuda short, which I guess is a looser version. It's a long short above the knee, but tight and cropped just under the knee, not doing me any favors.
Well, if you do like that trend, they're coming back.
They're
this
coming.
spring.
Are you going to do it?
Well, I say I love them. I've actually never tried any on.
Yeah,
So.
I love the look of it. Never say never for me. But then she's almost got like a Chanel-esque tweed, that kind of candy pink longer coat.
And that bubblegum pink, they're calling it. That's really big.
Yeah.
Interesting, actually, the colours that she's wearing were really strong on the runway. So the black and white as a base, and then the bubblegum pink, and then even the red rosette that she's got.
Yeah, she's got like a little red brooch. It could be Chanel, might not be. And it looks like also a hairscarf, perhaps, ponytail at the back. Again, pretty classic items that are just kind of mismatched in the coolest way.
That's a really nice way to describe it, I think. They are quite classic, sophisticated.
Yeah.
And playing with different fabrications. So that tweed, just with the linen or whatever, the cotton pant she's wearing.
Yeah. And then the lovely lady, the third lady, she is wearing balloon pants, sort of that we're seeing them everywhere in spring, that they've got the tie around the ankle. From where I sit, they look like a woven kind of ballet flat type loafer, which I again am seeing everywhere. Knit vest, white shirt underneath. Interesting hat.
Yeah. Can't tell exactly what the hat is, but hat wear and hat accessories.
Everything on the head.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because it's cold there? Like, I don't wear hats unless I'm going to the beach.
And it's not like it hasn't got any sort of brim for
it's not
sun protection.
No, but it looks very cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We had Eliza, she's the head of content here at Mamma Mia, and we'll put a link in the show notes, that she lived in Scandinavia and worked at Scandinavian Vogue for a long time. And she said the number one thing that she recommends for women to have in their wardrobe is like a sleeveless knit vest like that's really great for layering and can add personality to a piece. I don't own one.
Yeah.
But again, a classic that you can have every season.
Yeah.
Oh, talk to me about this look, because I think this speaks to your first point about the kind of clean lines that we're used to seeing. This lady is wearing a kind of very classic structured blazer in a white or off-white shade that's cinched in at the waist, and then a long white either dress or maxi skirt that's kind of uneven hem, but still very clean silhouette overall.
And with playing in the blacks and the cream ivory whites. So day 3 we saw School Month. And then Opera Sport as well, day 1. They all focus so heavily on these black and whites, which is sort of contradictory to the whole maximalist style, but it goes back to the origins of that Scandi minimalist style dressing.
Yes.
So it's still quite prevalent within the streets, and it's what consumers, I guess, are buying in Copenhagen.
Yeah, because she's got a black, looks like an east-west bag or a bowler bag, and then a black shoe. And for me, when I wear black and white together, I feel like I look like a wait staff. But for some reason, that's just so classic and simple, but not, I don't know, it just works.
I know. She looks beautiful, very elegant. And
very elegant.
Yeah, it was so School and Month, day 3. Don't mind my Danish pronunciations. But they were these beautiful, almost like feminine, ethereal style runway shows, showing all these beautiful whites and the ivories.
Good. I love white.
And smock style tops as well.
I
so
don't
just
love
that beautiful
those.
girl.
Yeah.
Like, feminine, ethereal would be how
Okay. Oh, good. I hope that comes here. Okay. For me, this is the definition of maximalism. Lucinda, please help me describe this. What are we seeing?
Okay. So she's wearing she's wearing a maxi skirt with a long sleeve top. Let's start with the bottom. It's an orange maxi skirt that's sort of been cut up and looks like spaghetti.
Yeah, it does. It looks like just fringing.
Fringing.
You know, one of those shimmy dresses? Like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's a skirt. Yeah. Luckily, the top, on which we'll get to in a second, goes like it's almost to the length of a mini skirt. So all you're seeing is orange fringing on the bottom.
Yes.
And then she's got this, it looks really cool, this embroidered like long sleeve top, different colors. It's got like red.
It's almost like Ken Doan vibes. I was obviously, I'm assuming it's not Ken Doan, but it's like cobalt blue, orange flowers. It could be a jacket. It almost looks padded, but it's in its stripes, florals, splashes of blue, splashes of red, and black and yellow.
And it's, would you say that's sheer? Are you seeing sheer?
No.
No, I don't know what glasses.
Maybe we do need the iPads.
Big yellow hoops.
2 or 3 necklaces.
Yep, to big necklaces. So chunky accessories.
And then her handbag looks like a Chuck Super White, which I love, but it's this big blue and white checked.
And it's all block colours, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the orange,
and almost,
the yellow,
orange
the
isn't
red,
a primary colour, but it's very bright colours.
And then the big hair as well. She's got this gorgeous afro. But
and she's rocking it.
Yeah.
But to me, I love it. I, again, wouldn't wear it, but it makes me feel so joyful to look at.
It's fun. It's clever as well.
Yeah, it is clever because it all ties in, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it works.
We could talk about Copenhagen street style forever, but let's finish with this image of 3 women on the street because this is a lot of trends that I think we're going to see here soon. So talk me through what we're seeing.
So we're seeing a lot of sporty chic girls here. It's a group of 3 girls. The one on the left is wearing a jersey, a blue and white jersey, which we're seeing heaps. I think this started New York Fashion Week with Loewe.
Yeah.
And we're already
it's been around a fair bit, right?
Yeah. So that's been, and we're seeing it here with Beckenbridge and Cotton on.
Yes.
So she's wearing that classic cotton rugby jersey that we're seeing everywhere, but she's got like a blue Oxford shirt underneath it.
Love that. I think I can do that. That's not too scary for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's blue on blue. So there's not too much clashing going on.
True.
And then she's got these dark grey cargo pants and then blue
like a
socks.
cropped almost like.
Yeah.
Almost a Bermuda short, but a bit longer. Yeah.
And then the blue socks with a black kitten heel. So
I can't do that.
I love the socks.
I love the look
heel.
of it,
Yeah,
and I feel like Australia is getting more into the like a sock with like a heel, a kitten a heel. But I love the look of it, but I wouldn't do it myself. But I think if she walked down the street in Sydney, I'd be like, cool. I wouldn't be like, whoa, that's too much.
Yeah, you could do this. So it's just blue tying in. If you've got a blue shirt and get a rugby jersey over the top, some sort of short or pant, socks and a heel.
That's true. Okay, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
You're inspiring me.
I love this look. It's really effortless.
Me too. And then the one on the right, she's wearing Adidas activewear shorts, which we're seeing everywhere.
The Adidas runner shorts, which is the short ones, or there's the tracky pants, which we're used to. From
we're so
the 90s.
used to.
Yeah. It was Zoe Kravitz was seen wearing these runner shorts by Adidas, and it sort of just from there it blew up. Yeah, it's everywhere. So she's got the blue and navy runner shorts, and then this bright red bag, which I love, like a baguette bag.
Yeah.
She's got socks on as well, but these ones go just below the knee, so a higher black sock.
So I think overall that look shows that you can mix, sporty pieces with more classics.
And maybe something to think about is pick a sport that you like or resonate with. So you'd say the girl on the right in the shorts, it almost is like soccer vibes with the shorts and then this long socks. Whereas like the other one's got more of a rugby-esque vibe. So
Lucinda,
you can always
that's you talking about your sporty leanings. Everything's just sport for me. And I would only own sport things if I was going to the gym or did sport. Whereas you want to categorize it into the type of sport. But on that, we are going to see a lot of this stuff coming to our spring, summer very soon, if not now. So can you come back in a few weeks and we'll translate some of these trends into what we're about to wear?
Yeah, I'd love to, Leigh.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. See you next time.